what you and I know is that secret is actually really common. You can actually get an interim secret clearance without having any background check at all. It's something they give you in the military and they give you in the government during the time that they are vetting you to make sure that you are qualified for a secret clearance.
Yeah.
So there's actually a huge number of Americans that have a secret clearance. Basically every entry-level military enlisted person, officer, newly recruited federal agent, from anything from IRS to Homeland Security to USAID. Like, lots of people have secret clearances.
Yeah.
What's interesting is after you're vetted for secret, usually there's a long history or a long timeline where all you have is access to secret information.
Yeah.
And secret information is defined as information that is damaging to national security.
Yeah.
So it is secret. It is not unclassified. You're not going to find it on the open internet or on the deep web. But if you disclose that secret information, then it could do damage to national security. Not significant damage, but some damage. And that's what makes secret clearances kind of a prime target for prosecution under UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Okay.
Or in the federal courts as well.
Yes, and I think it's very important that we distinguish for the audience. Guys, there's two different, if you were to look at like the criminal justice system, right, at the federal level, there's two different segues you can go. You can go the military courts, and then you can go the criminal courts. Which, by the way, did you see that they literally gave a plea deal to Khaled Sheikh Mohammed, one of the orchestrators of 9/11 yesterday?
Oh my gosh.
And it's UCMJ, it's military court, which means we can't find any of that shit, which we could talk about that too. But yeah, guys, so that's basically the two different routes that you have. So with the secret thing, and I find it interesting that you mentioned the military courts, they like to, if you're like a military guy, they would prefer to prosecute you in the military courts way more because like the burden of proof is less, they have higher conviction rates, and you're just afforded less rights when you're a service personnel.
Yeah, your rights are essentially taken away from you once you sign on the dotted line as a resource of the U.S. government.
Yeah.
And that's why the UCMJ, like, it's so difficult. It's difficult to manage. It's difficult to navigate. It really is just your commanding officer can basically be like, I'm going to try you for insubordination because you didn't do what I said.
Yeah.
And you got it.
And it's interesting too. So we talked about the military side, like where you'll get hit with that, so you'll get hit with that for having secret information. On the criminal side, let's say you're not a service member, guys, and they decide to go through an AUSA or whatever, Department of Justice, you're going to get hit. Typically, this is where you start to get hit with espionage. 18 U.S.C. 793, I think it is. Bills, if you could double check it, see. But that's like once you start getting into secret information, if you're not carrying it correctly, you're not storing it correctly, you're taking it away from where it's supposed to be, etc. This is how you start to get in trouble with like the Espionage Act. But so we talked about unclassified, secret. What about confidential?
So confidential lands in the
sensitive unclassified.
sensitive unclassified area, right? Because it's confidential to you, but not necessarily damaging to national security intelligence.
18 U.S.C. 793. Okay, so we covered secret, and now what about the next level?
The next level is a big step, actually. You go from
huge,
secret to top secret, right? And top secret is what movies make you think that top secret's super sexy. Honestly, top secret still isn't that sexy. You have to be vetted and you have to be proven to have need to know for top secret information. But oftentimes, if you're a specialist of any kind in the government, if you're in the national security, law enforcement, or intelligence world, you're going to get a top secret clearance.
That's what I had when I was an agent. That was top secret. And if you guys apply for any special agent position, they're typically going to get you a top secret clearance.
Because what top secret gives you is the ability to have joint operations.
Yeah.
So now Homeland Security can talk to CIA, can talk to NSA, can talk to FBI, top secret level clearance to top secret level clearance.
Yeah.
Even though what's really wild, brother, is that they define classified information for an agency differently. So, for example, CIA considers their surveillance methodology top secret, no foreign, right? No foreign meaning not for release to foreign contacts, foreign allies.
Yep.
Where FBI considers their surveillance methodology unclassified. Mm-hmm. Same fucking methodology.
Yep.
Right? FBI does the same thing CIA does. CIA classifies it as top secret. FBI says it's unclass.
Yeah. And a big reason for that, guys, is if you think about it, like the FBI prosecutes people in open court. So when you prosecute people in open court, there's something called the discovery process, which means it needs to come out to the defendant, who are fucking criminals. They don't have a clearance. So that is why they can't have their surveillance stuff being unclassified, because that has to come out during the course of criminal prosecution.
Right. Otherwise, it's got to go to a secret court. Court that's a court of cleared people.
FISA court.
Yep. And if you have a cleared court, you have less control over who's in the court, who the judge is, what the district is, and where
and
you
the general public can go in there. Guys, any of you right now can literally go into a federal courthouse, sit in there and watch trials all day. You know what I mean? And they're in there testifying and talking about all this stuff. It's open to the public. So you can absolutely do that. And then what's above TS? Because TS is like, yes, I agree. Like that's the beginning where it's like real. You actually takes like 6 months to a year and a half to get a background check cleared. This is where you start to deal with sensitive information if you actually do get access to it. And then what's above that? The SCI.
Well, what's really interesting is you have compartments inside TS.
Yeah.
So SCI, Special Compartmented Information, is a category of top secret.
Yes.
You also have categories 1 through 15. So like category 6 is nuclear secrets. Category 12 is nuclear targeting secrets. So you would have a TS, Special Compartmented Information, so TS SCI, or you'd have a TS Cat 6, Cat 12, like I did when I was in the military and nuclear missile services. You could also have a TS Privy. Privy is when you've got information that goes to a subset of a subset. So let's say that you're NSA working against China, and you're also working against China telecommunications. Mm-hmm. Now you might have a privy access that gets you the highest level secrets about what's happening in China telecommunications. Whereas everybody else in NSA is going to have TS-SCI, so they know we're collecting Chinese telecommunications secrets, but they don't have the highest level of information.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got all these subcompartments that further prioritize and limit what information people have access to.